revisit Manhattan soon. The Brooklyn Bridge awaits. The sound and smoke of the passing cars below me, under me. I must go. I love you. And although I don't recall ever meeting you, my parents, they swear that when I was just 3, I called them over to you and into Brooklyn, I went crying. I must revisit Manhattan. And from Brooklyn to Manhattan, I'm going to walk on the Brooklyn Bridge and put all of those myths to a test. And see if it's true that whenever you're walking through the middle towers, something bigger than you takes over your mind. And you feel like jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. But first, I must walk into Manhattan. Before I get called into disappearance, I must revisit Manhattan. And with beautiful, sexy girls, I will drink heavily and head on back to those gothic exits and entrances and see if it's true. And see if it's true. So here I am, outside my house, catching some fresh air. And right before my very eyes, quietly, silently, 1,000 flowers are blooming all around me. I run back inside the house, and even the floor is blooming. It's so unusual. New, tender, pink, moist. I give her a kiss and a hug, hello, and above her head, in a glass sky, the moon hangs blue and fragrant, as if hanging from some invisible branch. I point at the moon and say, look, our moon. She looks at the moon and smiles, and then she looks at me and I smile, melting inside. I'm in my room, she's sitting on my bed, I'm on the floor, my arms around her legs, my head in her lap, and we're both quiet. Silence! I can hear my pulse. I feel that everything that defines me in space is melting, vanishing. I'm a crystal dissolving in her lap. I'm getting smaller, larger, wider off the scale because she's no longer herself. She's the whole universe. And for 1 second, her and my bed and the floor and the blooming flowers of our love shot through the sky and hit the moon with joy. We are one. All that is in me, with me, listening to the beating of my pulse and flying across the blessed second. I tried to tell her in stupid, confused, drowned words that I am a crystal. And that is why the door is in me. That's why I can hear how happy the chair is when such nonsense comes out and I stop talking. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed. So I tell her, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm talking such nonsense. And then she tells me, Oscar, what makes you think nonsense is bad? If they nurtured and cared for human nonsense the way they did with intelligence throughout the ages, then nonsense would be something of special value. And for nonsense alone, Oscar, for what you did yesterday at the bay, I love you even more. She took my face, all of me, between her palms. She lifted my head up, sweet, sharp, white teeth, and then another smile. In the open space of my room, she was like a bee. She had both honey and a sting. And there's a stupid smile on my face. I look into her eyes, now one, now the other. Seeing myself in each, I'm tiny, minuscule, locked inside her talking eyes. And then more bees, lips, all the sweet pain of blooming. Inside each of us, there's an invisible metronome that's taken away quietly. And you never have to look at a clock to know the exact time to within 5 minutes, but our metronomes had stopped. And we didn't know how much time had passed by. And time had passed by. We only had 20 minutes, but minutes, what are they? Short, stumpy, little things that come so fast and quiet. We were now running. I had so much to tell her, all of myself. What the love letter I had written for her. But the beauty of my childhood. About my first day of elementary school. About my love for writing and for music. About my father and his love for bees. But she was already dressed and kissing me goodbye. For 1 second, the whole length of her body touched me. I wanted to hold on to her tight and never let go. She walks to her car, and I see that familiar movement of hers. My eyes wanting to pop out of my face, following her, begging her to stay. I'm alone now, and all that is left of her is the 100 kisses she left on my body. The print of her feet on my floor. The trail of her perfume in my room. The disappearing wings on my back that slowly bring me back down to the floor. That and the questions. The questions that stick in me like fish hooks.